Crypto investing, you can see in this quick market update, the coins are still falling. They've recovered slightly from their massive crash this morning. And you can see I sent a link to my Jabroni Killer members. We have a Jabroni Killers chat group set up to where I can give you guys, Jerome just set it up for me to make this more user-friendly. I appreciate that, Jerome. He's a very valuable asset to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and I've sent that link. Join the exclusive Telegram as a member of a perk to where you can contact me and you can get the trading setups and trading alerts via a quick picture that you can snapshot and then trade off of and communicate with the rest of the growing group and members. I believe we're up to 6 Jabroni Killer members now. They're growing fast, and there's content going to be uploaded at a very rapid pace. In our fiscal and monetary policy Fridays, I will have a video uploaded tomorrow. It might not be till tomorrow evening. I'm going to try to get it done tonight before I travel tomorrow. It happens to be on a bad day where I travel, but I'm going to try to do that video today before I leave and then preset it to upload at midnight so you can get your first video on fiscal and monetary policy Fridays exclusively to members of Jabroni Killers. And as you can see, the tension and the war and the geopolitical all has a big impact on the price of crypto. You can see a couple of bombs dropped and a little bit of a war move and a war act starting, and the cryptos crashed, right? Because it all directly correlates together, and that's why you need to become members of Jabroni Killers, as 6 have already done, for a cheap, affordable, for all price. And you can see now it looks like your upper resistance would be coming back and tapping the top part of this white support box around the 37,000, and then you're going to roll over. So on any pump, I'm thinking you get cut down by the 50 and the 100-day in red and blue there, and then in green's going to trade down really quickly to here by the time the price got there. And I think that would cap off any potential upswell after that big flush. This was a big market change, right? And I think you're going to get capped off at 37,331 if you pump up. If you got ultimate bullish, which I don't see happening, we're going to get rid of that. This orange ring would act as the top, the ultimate top, just like it did back here. Even though it pumped slightly higher, that orange ring was your topping out ring. Same thing here, but I think you get topped out at 37,331 if you pump up, because you're coming down. Let's move this into the current day because it's about to flip over. After, I would say this is where you're coming down to your next target, is where I'm anticipating. And members of Jabroni Killers found out yesterday when we were up here that I thought we had a big flush coming down, and that was a 12.5% move from where the price was to where the price is going to go on its next bottom to retest down here. And the Jabroni Killer members yesterday, prior to the move, got the first mover advantage, knowing I was out of the market and I was anticipating a big flush. And we got yesterday and this morning and overnight from the top 12.5%, and I think we're coming down a little bit more before we can have some kind of a bounce. But that was a 12% flush that members of Jabroni Killers understood and were aware of, that Vincenzo thought that was going to flush. Didn't know the Ukraine news was coming out yesterday. Just looking at the technicals of the market, we thought it would come down. The same thing with XRP. I told my Jabroni Killer members that I thought this was going to fail yesterday on the back test and come down. And this is your top end potential here today, 72 cents to retest. And then I told my members of Jabroni Killers yesterday I thought XRP was going to have a big flush too, as I thought the whole crypto market was moments away from flushing. And we have our short-term target, as you know, was all the way down there. We told you that when you pump back up into here, that if you ended up making it into here, that 200-day moving average. And another reason to become a member of Jabroni Killer, I know you're sick of hearing me say that, but not only to support the channel, but we diagnosed out here. Let's put our purchasing tool, it'll be easier. We diagnosed, Vincenzo told you when the price was here and pumping, it was about to roll over, retest the lower part of this 10.5 month at the time symmetrical triangle and double bottom here. And then if you breach this, you were flushing all the way down to retest a wick double bottom from right here. Now if you zoom in, this wick's a little bit lower, but this right, back here, this back here it was going to touch, and that's why we thought the 50 something cents was going to be where you bounce. No, right here from that wick. And we thought the 50 something cents, you could build a base and bounce and back test to confirm a breakdown. But we told you there was a 1.69 out of 10 chance that it pumps back into this triangle, because you had plenty of room left back here from February 5th all the way to May 12th. Plenty of room the last quarter or so of this pattern to play out when it was back here and broke down. See all this you had left. So I told you if it pumps up, your logical spot where you get rejected is the 200-day moving average, and then you back test the 72 cents. And if you can hold that, then and only then can you make a run up to the 95 cents and maybe even a little bit higher if it took that route. If not, you had to watch as you got rejected, because we were calling that from here. You come down, you back test, then you flush to 47, 48 cents. Or the least traveled road, you come up to the 200-day and then back test, and this would be your critical spot. So we diagnosed this out beautifully in here. And then I let my members as jabroni killers know yesterday that I thought it wasn't going to hold the 72 cents and we were going to break down and eventually end up all the way down at 48 cents. But first we were going to come back into this trading area, trade around a little bit, and then come down. But I did give you guys the heads up as the first mover on members as jabroni killers. When the price was up here, I thought it was going to flush, and so far, just because of the first mover advantage, you would have sidestepped the 19.98% flush, and I think a 38% dump by the time it gets down to the short-term target. But we're going to diagnose and sniff out this pattern as the markets adjust to the major news last night. And then we'll give our Jabroni Killer members updates on any potential pumps and all the potential dumps out ahead of the rest of the market. And they get the first mover advantage as one of the perks, along with fiscal and monetary policy Fridays, commodity Mondays, the housing market updates. The first one's going to be coming out soon, as we're going to do a monthly housing market update. We're going to have to do a Fed update soon because the Fed meetings and the Fed notes are coming out this week. So we're going to give you a Fed update on if the war changes the tone of the Fed and what I think the overall thesis on interest rates and inflation going through the rest of this year. We already had one target hit in the oil from last year. We had a $150 call, but at first we said by the start of 2022, $100 a barrel would happen. And if we take a look over here to gold and silver, the oil, $97. It briefly touched $100 today, right? So that's on target. If we look at Algo, you can see we've broken down, and we did a beautiful update on Algo yesterday. Check that video out. And as you know, on here we have an open call of 56 cents and a green ring support down here after a pattern breakdown of this big rising channel. And the technical target is actually all the way down here at about 20 cents. But our first target down that we gave out when we were breaking this green ring, we said it's down here at 56 cents, right? So that's where we think we're going in Algo before any kind of potential bounce. So 56 cents is where you're going on Algo next. Digibyte, you can see we've double bottomed into here. And I told my members of Jabroni Killers yesterday that this was our underneath target. I might have even told the general population on Digibyte. But we have this as our underneath target because this is in the same sort of a pattern as Algo. If we zoom out to the 4 hourly, actually we need to zoom out farther and farther to the monthly, you can see Algo is in this rising channel, or Digibyte's in this rising channel, and then Algo is in the same rising channel. They have followed the same exact path, right? And you're just breached now the major volume indicator area in white, which is right here. I don't have it in white, but this red line. So that's very bearish. And your next underneath target is all the way down here to fulfill a pattern move and out of this rising channel, which is a topping reversal after it exhausts itself. But this is your next target in Digibyte, and that saves you back from when Vincenzo last spring was telling you up here when the hype train was going big time, baby. Told you this thing was going to flush, and if you've listened to Vincenzo, you've saved an 89%, and by the time we hit our next target, 97% down from all the people that got fleece heisted and shisted by the market manipulators and the YouTube charlatans as they were buying all up here. Only jabronis were buying any of this. This is all jabroni buy because nobody in here really 90 percentile held. And they still have it here because they still think it's going to moon. They don't understand the overall structure of the market is bearish. Go to any of these coins, bearish. Vincenzo saved you guys all from up here, right? Remember back here on the Elon Musk? Now look where we're at. All the way down here, you guys are getting fleece heisted, excised to an extreme degree. And eventually we're coming down here to the shithouse in Dogecoin because it's a joke. You people need to get on board of Jabroni Killers. Matic, huge call on Matic we've made. And we're going to put out a big potential call on Matic. To members of Jabroni Killers, we're going to clean this chart up because this is very old. We haven't looked at Matic in a while. You can see how hideous this fucking chart is. But we're going to have a huge call on Matic, and that's a potential major 50% play. I'm not going to let you know here if it's a long or a short, right? But members of Jabroni Killers, if you have the ability to short, this could be a potential 50% play if it goes down, or potential if you are longing could make a 50% move up. But this one I have diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected a pattern, and I'm going to put a phenomenal video to members only later on today about a potential 50% move in Matic, right? That you can, if it's going to pump, you can long it, and if it's going to dump, you can short it. And we're going to get in depth on this because there's a potential huge play in Matic. It's all set up out here in front of you. The players are on the field, the indicators are set, and I'm going to get this chart looking beautiful and give you that big 50% move that's going to happen very soon, exclusively to members of Jabroni Killers, and just another reason to become a member, to get those explosive trading alerts. Even on the dumps, you can make massive amounts of money shorting it. Fucking instead of going long, you can short, and that's part of being member of Jabroni Killer. Peace and love.